She ran into her room, locked the door, and held her phone onto the bed as it kept vibrating violently in her hand. Notifications flooded the screen so fast she couldn't read them. Her chest rose and fell rapidly. Sweat gathered at her temples. Then her phone rang. "Amora, pick up." Brittany's name flashed across the screen. Another message popped in. "You're heartless. Someone could have gotten arrested because of you. This is disgusting." Her knees weakened. Just 12 hours ago, she had been screaming with excitement. Now her name was everywhere for the wrong reasons. Downstairs, her mother called, "Amora, why is your principal calling my phone?" Her blood froze. 2 weeks earlier, Amora had felt invisible. At 16, she was known as the quiet girl who always submitted assignments on time. Teachers liked her. Classmates barely noticed her. During lunch breaks, she often sat alone, earphones plugged in, scrolling endlessly through social media. She watched girls her age dancing in public spaces, acting in dramatic skits, pulling bold pranks. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. Icon. Fearless queen. She ate that. Amora would stare at her reflection in the black screen after each video ended. "I can do this," she whispered one afternoon. At home, her younger brother Daniel believed in her more than anyone. "You dance like those TikTok girls," he told her, copying her moves in the living room. She laughed. "Stop embarrassing yourself." "I'm serious," he insisted. "One day you'll be famous." Famous. The word lingered in her heart. Everything changed the day Brittany and her friends approached her by the lockers. "Amora, right?" Brittany asked, chewing gum confidently. "We saw your dance clip on Tasha's phone. Why are you hiding that talent?" Amora blinked in surprise. "You saw that?" "Yeah," Tasha added. "You could actually go viral." Her pulse quickened. "Viral?" Brittany leaned against the locker. "We're building a content squad. Skits, challenges, public pranks. The algorithm is loving bold creators right now." Amora hesitated. "Public pranks?" "Relax," Brittany smacked. "Nothing illegal. Just shocking." Tasha crossed her arms. "Unless you're too shy." The word hit her pride. "I'm not shy," Amora replied quickly. "Prove it," Brittany said. "We are filming something huge this Saturday. If it hits, we all win." That Saturday, they met at a busy shopping mall. Brittany explained the plan with excitement in her eyes. "You're going to fake that someone stole your bag," she said. "Cry. Accuse someone randomly. Make it dramatic." Amora's stomach tightened. "That sounds risky." "That's the point," Tasha replied. "Risk equals views." "What if security gets involved?" Amora asked quietly. Brittany rolled her eyes. "We'll reveal it's a prank before anything serious happens." The cameras were ready. 3, 2, 1, action. Brittany whispered. Amora screamed. "My bag. Someone stole my bag." Shoppers froze. Conversation stopped. A man walking by turned in confusion as Amora pointed directly at him. "You took it," she shouted, forcing tears down her cheeks. "I did not," the man snapped, shocked. A security guard rushed over. "What's happening here?" "He stole from me." Amora cried hysterically. The man's face reddened. "This is ridiculous." The tension escalated quickly. People started recording. Behind the camera, Brittany whispered excitedly, "This is gold." Amora's heart pounded painfully. This no longer felt like a joke. The man looked hurt. Embarrassed. Angry. "Miss," the guard said firmly, "are you certain?" For 1 second, Amora nearly stopped everything. But Brittany mouthed, keep going. And she did. What Amara didn't realize was that another shopper had been recording from the very beginning, capturing Britney laughing before the theft even started. And that video would soon travel far beyond their control. The security guard stepped closer, his voice firm. "Young lady, calm down. What exactly was stolen?" "My handbag," Amara cried, clutching her chest dramatically. "It was right here." The accused man raised both hands. "I just walked past her. I don't even know her." Murmur spread through the crowd. "Check the cameras," someone suggested. Another shopper whispered loudly, "This is why you can't trust people." The man's face darkened with humiliation. "Search me then. I have nothing to hide." Amara's throat tightened. This had gone too far. Britney suddenly rushed forward, pretending to comfort her. Wait, she shouted dramatically. "It's a prank. It's just a prank." There was an awkward silence. "A prank," the security guard repeated, clearly unimpressed. Tasha stepped forward, holding up her phone. "We are content creators. It's for social media." The man stared at them in disbelief. "You publicly accused me of stealing for content." Amara avoided his eyes. "That's not funny," the guard said sternly. "You caused panic." Britney forced a laugh. "It's harmless. Everyone does public pranks now." The man shook his head slowly. "You should be ashamed." His words pierced Amara deeper than the angry tone. They quickly left the scene before things escalated further. As soon as they stepped outside, Britney burst into excitement. "That was insane," she exclaimed. "Did you see his face? This is going to blow up." Amara forced a weak smile. Her hands were still shaking. Later that evening, they edited the video dramatically. Intense music. Zoom-ins. Slow motion of Amara crying. Shocked faces of strangers. "Perfect," Tasha said. "Post it." "Wait," Amara whispered. "Shouldn't we blur his face?" Britney scoffed. "That ruins it. Reactions are everything." Amara hesitated, but the pressure of their stares pushed her into silence. The video went live. At first, the notifications were thrilling. 100 views. 500 views. 2,000 views. Comments flooded in. "This is crazy. She deserves an Oscar. Best prank I've seen." Amara's heart raced with excitement. She refreshed the page constantly. 10,000 views. Britney screamed through the phone. "You're trending." By midnight, it hit 50,000. Amara lay in bed staring at the numbers. For the first time in her life, she felt seen. Important. Popular. Daniel ran into her room the next morning. "Amara, you're on my friend's page. You're famous." She laughed breathlessly. "It's just a video." But deep down, she felt powerful. Then something shifted. A new notification appeared. It wasn't a comment. It was a tagged video. She tapped it. It was a different angle of the same incident. The camera clearly showed Britney laughing before Amara screamed. It showed Tasha saying, "Ready. Start crying now." And worst of all, it showed the man standing peacefully before being accused. The caption read, "These girls falsely accused an innocent man for clout. This is not a prank. This is dangerous." Her stomach dropped. Within minutes, that video gained traction. The comments were brutal. They could have gotten him arrested. "This isn't funny. Cancel them." Amara's hands trembled as she refreshed the page. "Britney," she called immediately. "Have you seen the other video?" There was a pause on the line. "Yeah," Britney muttered. "People are overreacting." "It looks bad," Amara whispered. It's fine, Britney snapped. Engagement is engagement. But it wasn't fine. By afternoon, the original video had been reposted by larger accounts calling them irresponsible. Strangers were tagging the shopping mall. Some were demanding an apology. Then her phone rang again. This time, it wasn't Britney. It was the school principal. Amora, the principal's voice was cold. We need to discuss your behavior immediately. Her heart stopped. Downstairs, her mother's voice trembled as she called her name again. The fame she wanted had arrived. But it didn't feel like victory anymore. It felt like a storm she couldn't escape. Amora walked downstairs slowly, each step heavier than the last. Her mother stood in the living room holding her phone, her expression a mixture of confusion and disappointment. "Tell me this isn't you," her mother said quietly. Amora couldn't speak. Her father was seated on the couch, unusually silent. He rarely spoke when angry. That silence frightened her more than shouting ever could. "Your principal just called," her mother continued. "She said the video is spreading everywhere. Parents are complaining." "It was just a prank," Amora whispered weakly. "A prank," her father finally spoke, his voice low. "You accused an innocent man of stealing. Do you know what that could have cost?" Tears welled in her eyes. "We told him it was a prank." After humiliating him, her father replied sharply. Daniel stood quietly near the staircase, watching everything. His usual excitement was gone. Her mother sighed deeply. "We raised you better than this." The words cut deep. The next morning at school felt like walking into a courtroom. Students whispered as she passed. "That's her. She's the prank girl. She almost ruined that man's life." Some students laughed mockingly. Others stared with judgment. Amora spotted Britney near the lockers. She rushed toward her. "Have you talked to the principal?" Amora asked anxiously. Britney shrugged casually. "Yeah. My parents handled it." "What does that mean?" "It means I'm not getting suspended," Britney replied coolly. "Relax." Amora's chest tightened. "What about me?" Tasha approached, lowering her voice. "Honestly, since you were the one who did the accusing, it might fall more on you." "What?" Amora's voice cracked. "It was your idea." Brittany's expression hardened. "Careful. You pushed me to do it." Amora insisted. "No," Brittany shot back calmly. "We suggested it. You agreed. No one forced you." The truth stung. Moments later, the principal's assistant called her name. Inside the office, the atmosphere was tense. The principal folded her hands on the desk. "Amora, your actions reflect poorly on this institution," she began. "We've received multiple complaints. The shopping center management contacted us." Amora's breathing quickened. "I'm sorry. I didn't think it would get this serious." "That's the problem," the principal said firmly. "You didn't think." There was a long pause. "You are suspended for 1 week pending further review." The words echoed in her ears. Suspended. She walked out of the office in a daze. Students immediately noticed. "Suspended," someone whispered loudly. Humiliation burned her face. Outside the school gates, Britney texted in the group chat. "This is getting messy. I'm deleting the video." Tasha replied, "Same." Amora stared at her screen. "What about me?" she typed. No response. Within hours, Britney posted a new story. "Some people take jokes too far. Always think before acting." Amora felt betrayed. She called Britney immediately. "What is that supposed to mean?" "It means I'm protecting my brand," Britney said bluntly. "This drama is bad for engagement." "You're blaming me." "I'm not blaming you. But you were the face of it. Silence filled the line. So that's it? Amara whispered. After everything. Brittany exhaled impatiently. It's not personal. It's social media. The call ended. Amara stared at her reflection in the dark phone screen. For the first time since the video went viral, she didn't see a rising star. She saw someone who had traded her values for validation. At home, she locked herself in her room again. The notifications had changed from excitement to hate. Apologize. You're dangerous. Cloud chaser. Daniel knocked softly. Amara. She wiped her tears. What? He entered slowly. My friends were talking about you today. Her heart sank. What did they say? He hesitated. They said you're not a good person. The words broke her. Daniel looked at her sadly. I told them my sister wouldn't hurt someone for attention. Amara couldn't hold back her tears anymore. She had wanted fame. But she hadn't expected to lose herself in the process. Amara sat on the floor of her room long after Daniel left, his words echoing louder than the online insult. I told them my sister wouldn't hurt someone for attention. She covered her face with both hands and sobbed. For days, she had been angry at Brittany, at strangers online, at the school. But now, for the first time, she was angry at herself. Her phone buzzed again. Another notification. This time, it wasn't hate. It was a message request. From the man at the mall. Her heart nearly stopped. With trembling fingers, she opened it. I don't know if you will read this, the message began. But I want you to understand something. When you accused me, people looked at me like I was a criminal. My daughter was there. She was scared. Actions have consequences. Tears streamed down her face as she read it again and again. His daughter was there. She hadn't even noticed. A sudden wave of shame crashed over her. Downstairs, she heard her parents talking quietly. The disappointment in their voices hurt more than any punishment. She walked out of her room slowly and approached them. Mom. Dad, can I say something? They both looked up. I was wrong, she said, her voice breaking. Not Brittany. Not anyone else. I chose to do it. I wanted to be famous so badly that I didn't think about who I might hurt. Her father studied her silently. I read his message, she continued. His daughter was there. I humiliated him in front of his child. Her mother's eyes softened slightly. So what are you going to do about it? The question lingered. For the first time, Amara wasn't thinking about followers. I want to apologize publicly, she said. And privately. Her father nodded slowly. That's a start. The next day, she set up her camera in her room. No dramatic music. No editing tricks. No filters. Just her. She pressed the record. My name is Amara, she began, her voice shaking. And I made a serious mistake. I falsely accused a man in public for a social media prank. I wanted attention. I wanted followers. But I hurt someone innocent. She swallowed hard. I'm not here to blame anyone else. I made the choice. And I am deeply sorry. Tears rolled down her cheeks naturally. I've learned that fame built on hurting others is not success. It's a failure. She posted the video. This time, she didn't refresh the page obsessively. Hours passed. When she finally checked, the response was different. She's taking responsibility. This is what growth looks like. Apologizing isn't easy. Not everyone forgave her. Some comments were still harsh. But something felt different. Peace. She also sent a private apology to the man and asked if she could meet him to apologize in person. He agreed. The meeting was uncomfortable but necessary. "I'm truly sorry," she said, standing before him and his daughter. "I didn't understand the weight of my actions." The man looked at her for a long moment before nodding. "Learn from this." His daughter gave her a small, hesitant smile. That smile meant more than 1,000,000 views. When her suspension ended, returning to school wasn't easy. Some students still whispered, but others surprised her. "That apology video was brave," one girl said quietly. Amora began creating content again, but differently. She shared stories about peer pressure, self-worth, and making better choices. She even spoke about how easily fame can blind judgment. Her followers grew again, slower this time. But they were real. One evening, Dania entered her room with a wide grin. "You're trending again." She laughed softly. "For what this time?" "For helping people." She looked at her screen. A comment caught her attention. "Thank you for reminding us that character matters more than clout." Amara smiled. She had chased fame recklessly and nearly destroyed her future. She had lost friends who were never truly friends. She had faced humiliation, suspension, and public shame. But she had gained something far more valuable: wisdom. As she turned off her phone that night, she whispered to herself, "Never again." Because she finally understood something powerful. Social media fame can rise in seconds. But character takes a lifetime to build. And once broken, it's much harder to repair. This was the untold story behind the viral video. Not the laughter. Not the views. But the lesson. And it was a lesson she would carry forever.